Okay, welcome everyone. So I'm going to keep it in gallery for just a minute, and then we'll kind of move it into for those that are watching the recording so that you can see it a little bit better. But I wanted to start actually to see if there's anybody that this is your first time hanging out. I recognize your name. So have you maybe emailed customer service? Maybe I recognize your name. You have a very unusual name, so and it's so beautiful. So welcome. I'm so happy you're
Thank
here. Where
you.
are you from, Franz? Where are you from?
Montreal.
Montreal. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Um, I would like to suggest the volume be turned up. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I don't know why. See, it goes so far down. I can understand why you don't hear me very well. Okay, well, I turned it up, so if anybody has their volume all the way up now, it's gonna blast you. Is there anybody else that this is your first time hanging out with us? Okay, so everybody else. Okay, well, that I just kind of wanted to see where everybody was because for those of you that have been with me a little bit, and then maybe those of you that this is your first time, the way that I love to work is to kind of enter the field and open reflection and see what all comes through. And with this business mastermind, I it's something that has been brewing for a while. I am working with a couple of people in the bigger the 5D business accelerator. So it's a year-long program. And the things that have happened in that have they every day I get blown away. Like every day I think, oh, there's no way it's going to get better. And the miracles that are coming through the people that are working with Astral Luma in the development of their business is it's pretty mind blowing. It really is. And I guess it shouldn't be because it's happening for me and my business as well. And but what I wanted to start with is kind of what I find most fascinating working in creation of a 5D business because it's not about going into the third dimension and recreating what's already there. It's actually creating in the fifth dimension. And those of you that have been journeying with me have a concept of what that means, and some of you are even in having the experience of it. And that's the biggest message that Astrolema keeps bringing through is that it is time to create in the fifth dimension. And I don't know if I put the word easy, but it is. It is actually easy when we have the right tools and the right guidance to do so. And what I find that is starting to happen is that things start to really accelerate in a rapid way. And some of you have heard me say this message before, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it because every time I'm just like on the edge of saying it and my whole body is going electric. So I know there's a lot of truth in it. And this is, I guess you could say, a mission is to work with light workers because the way showers, the ones that are here to create the new earth. And a lot of us are also entrepreneurs. We're either, whether we're healers or we have creating a business. I know, Elizabeth, you are an author, and, there's just like, we have so much talent in this community. It just, I mean, I know we have a lot of artists and it's really amazing. And, but the message, so whatever kind of way shower you are, if you are on the cutting edge and you are ready to do, do what hasn't been done before, like create in a space that isn't the third dimension, but is the acceleration of that, then this message is for you. Is that because those are the ones that Astroluma wants to work with. And they have been repeating this message over and over again. And what's really fun is that with working with the ones in the 5D accelerator, I'm starting to witness, oh, you just get chills as I say that, but I'm starting to witness that, oh my gosh, they're actually doing it. And that is to bring the way showers to the top of the financial chain. And it only makes sense that that would be the way that we're going to create the fifth dimension. And because they don't want to recreate the third dimension, it's not about taking apart what's in the third dimension and bringing it into the fifth dimension. It's just going straight to the fifth dimension and creating there. And then letting everything else just fall away because we have already created a structure that works. And it just makes sense to do it that way, right? This doesn't have to be hard. And they want the ones that are on the cutting edge of what it is to create in the fifth dimension, the ones that are focused on heart centered, conscious evolution, doing it through the body, learning how to alter particles, and really stepping into a mastery of what it is to not be attached to a third dimension and be open to exploring what it is to create in the fifth. And that is how we are going to change the world, if you will. And because I'm just going to go into it a little bit further, is well, why the way showers at the top of the financial chain? Well, I think that if we probably don't have to talk a lot about this, but I will just step back and say, the way that our government and our financial system and a lot of the way that even going down to the medical system, everything is based on the few leaders that are holding all the money. And unfortunately, I think most of us are aware of this too, that it doesn't even really matter who is in the government or who is in control because they're being actually told what to do. I actually just had this conversation with somebody that worked for the government, and he wasn't even in the top. He just worked within the government and, approved things to move on and did a lot of stuff within the buildings, like building and what do you call it? Well, you know what I'm saying. The what are they? I can't even think. But what he would have to put up with is that somebody would come and there'd be this big stack of people waiting to be approved for building permits. That's what it was. And somebody would walk in that would be above him, or let's say the mayor of, and he would be like, well, I need you to pass this. And the reason that it would have to be passed is because of the other government influence that was going to make money on having it passed. So it had nothing to do with what order it was in or if it was the right thing to do. It was literally everything was being dictated on how the money of the higher ups that were actually giving the money to the mayor and all of the people. So he's like, it's all about the money. Well, duh, we know that. Well, now put that and just imagine if there's a light worker and a way shower at the top of that chain. And that everything is heart based and everything is future forward and it's about collaboration and love and what is possible when we step out of the power and control and let the divine lead the way. And so that, yes, as I'm saying this, there's a part of me that feels like I just created these puppy dogs and rainbows and little bubbles, but I believe in it and I see it happening. So that is kind of my passion behind doing what I'm about to do today and to kind of open it up into this is I have my bigger program. We're in it. It's happening. I'm 110% all in, but I also know that there's people that that's not where they are is being able to step into a big program like that. So I had the idea of, okay, I'm going to start a mastermind and then we can have a group of people and do something similar, but have it be at a lower price point and everybody can kind of move as a group. And that was kind of as far as I got with it. And when I was getting ready to come in, I had this whole thing where I was going to have this workshop, but then I just stepped back and I was like, you know what? I just want to ask you guys what you would want. And maybe that this is a program that gets created by those that want to be a part of it. And we just kind of move as one and let it be created as we go. And that it's serving and meeting everyone where they are, because everybody that is needing something is going to serve everybody else. And so that's kind of what I was seeing. And so I have all these notes of what we can do, but I'm more interested in what you're interested in. Like I'm curious, like what brought you to this workshop, and um, is there something that you would like to talk about or see, or well, I think you get the point. I'm kind of struggling with my words today, but I guess that's kind of where it is. So I would love to hear anybody that wants to share where they're at, or I'm ready to be part of this. The financial part. See, okay, I'm going to say one more thing. I don't see her on, but the financial part is one of the parts that I want to look at too. This is why I want to move as one here, because I'm curious what it would be like to start a program like this where the financial part of it comes after it's proven, like as it goes, right? And like, how can we create something like that? And maybe it's like it starts out with just something because our like something that can be affordable, but then we prove based on what it's worth, something like that, because I don't know how that works, but I'm willing to step in and find out, because I feel like something's trying to happen here where we find our way together, and that's exciting to me too. All right, Kate, let's start with you.
So, well, for one thing, I never really thought since I'm retired, I never thought I wanted to work again. But then after taking the practitioner's course, I realized, it's a real spiritual activity and I wanted to do that. But that's moving very slowly, which I was given the instruction to don't move unless it's informed, not try to make it happen. So I probably don't think I'm going to really even have my website up and running till after I get back from Italy, late June, I mean, late April. But the other aspect is Astral Luma had given us this little view of how the financial markets will go, that first
Mhm.
will go digital and then it will go no money and will be in our sovereign and our currency will be our service. So that's kind of where I am. And I don't know anything beyond that.
I love it. Yes. And I feel like that's a question that a lot of people have been asking, is there going to be money in the new earth, right? And it's going to be different, right? It's just going to be different. There is I think it was Rebecca. She shared this dream that she had about, she was in a kitchen and it was just a new earth experience where everybody was working and collaborating. And it was just in this yummy, beautiful, like heartfelt connection, and everybody was like kind of just working together in one energy. And she was like, that's the first time I ever felt what it would be like to be in the new earth. And that's, I know that that is true because I feel it and I see it. And that's what I kind of hear with you, with what you're saying as well. Thank you, Kate. Okay, so let's go with Elizabeth.
So you were talking about how we have a lot of artists here. We do have a lot of artists. So how many artists have that are good at marketing? And
Yeah.
that's where I always have struggled, right? Lots of books that have come from my soul but the marketing is where so I want to know if this idea of marketing is up to date, like with 5D,
Yeah.
because I look at marketing plans and it's all you have to put all this big chunk of money up front.
Mhm.
Then, and there's this hope. What kind of format I want is a production or productivity based marketing. And so as you're talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this could be where we come together and somebody in this group is good with marketing. We have this agreement, whatever percentage in the next year, whatever, we all benefit. But there's
Love that.
no, it's more collaborative instead of you're going to pay me 6 grand and maybe
Right.
I might give you your money back. You might get a return on money or return on investment. So is that 5D? Because that's what
That
I need.
you're on to something, girl. You're on to something. Okay, I'm lighting up inside because so you just hit something really amazing. Yeah, Kathy's like, yes, because that is, and it may be that, well, okay, let's just hold there because you hit something on the head. I can't say I fully get it yet, but we're going to put it into the container and let it brew. And let's see what else comes through here. That was so good.
Well, what I have thought about is going to colleges and saying, give me your best marketing student. Let's
Hmm.
make an agreement. The college gets, if it really works, the student will make money, I'll make money, and the college will get, all this accolades for creating a program that's like, oh, we help this community person. I mean, that's another avenue where this could be really
Yeah.
beneficial.
So I feel less lit up about that only because we would want somebody that's willing to do it from the fifth dimension.
Yeah,
Right. So I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that's why the way shower energy is so because it's so pure and it's not pulling and not that somebody couldn't be trained to do that, but
Right.
because I do see marketing is definitely going to be different fifth dimensional wise. It's more education and resonance and connection, and it's not going to be the normal marketing. Not to say that it's not already happening because I don't know. I'm not in.
Hmm.
I don't know any students in marketing, but so I'm not shutting the door on it. But I feel like what would even be better is if there was somebody in our community that
Yeah,
is in it. So that would be so
right.
amazing. Okay, thank you so much. Let's
You're
keep
welcome.
going with this. And okay, so Judy, let's go with you.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, Jules and everybody. Yeah, so I don't, my voice is a little off today. Excuse me. Interesting that my voice is not working. But 30 years I've been doing my light work, and I know a lot of people my age that have, and it's always been, you know, good times and rough times financially and all of that. Um, So, and like always knowing somehow that the money has to get in the hands of the light workers. And I work with young adults and I work with children and to 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 have that because these kids don't want to go to traditional schools and the rest of it, and they can't. They're just frequency can't. So to have that to hand to them, so that means that I need to embody that, doing what I love and having the whether the currency shifts or not, whatever the humans are using, that currency. I'm getting it. I'm getting a lot of it because that's what I'm supposed to be sharing. So I had a dream. I woke up that I was a philanthropist. I said, "Oh shit, I missed my calling." No, but really, I said, oh my gosh, what it means is that if I can open to this reality where abundance is and do what I've been doing and some and the altruistic philanthropy would be handing that to these young people because they're here with their gifts and they need to be able to do more than just make a living in something they don't like, right? So
Mhm.
anyway, when you're talking about this, I'm like my heart's beating fast and everything. And in this last year, well, during COVID, I got really like, I was living with my partner and I got really comfortable and took some time off and spent what I had. Like I just was spending my savings, blah, blah, blah. The universe would have it that then now I have a big clean slate because that relationship ended in a good way. But I have this clean slate, and anything I'm going to do and that I used to maybe would have done is not working.
Yeah.
So I need you. And I'm not in the position to do the other one, although I see it.
Right.
And I will be soon.
I love
And
that.
but anyway, it's like, yeah, and I've been doing this stuff and now writing the books for the kids and everything and whatever,
Mm.
doing the work and everything's coming into that pineal gland and getting a new equation and the divine operating system. And at the same time, I'm rolling, because of this clean slate. I'm like, a little bit. So anyway, I
Yeah.
just want to say it out loud, be witnessed, and be a part of whatever we can co-create here.
Oh my gosh. Well,
And
thank
Astral
you.
Luma and you and all these beautiful people. So
Well, I'll tell you what I have just to kind of piggyback on what your share was is what I have found is that when the container is tight and it has a purpose, and that's what makes this different than doing even the 5D wealth class or another thing, is that this is specific to bringing way showers to the top of the financial chain. I mean, that is what the mission is, right? And then everybody brings their mission into that, and it creates a very tight container of what it is that Astraluma is doing in the transmissions. Instead, and so what really becomes like I just had a session this morning and I need this collaboration, I need this amount of money, and I need this. It's like exactly what you need. And that's what I started doing a year ago when Astraluma came in. I was like, okay, well, if you're going to totally uproot everything that I've created and come in and do this, well, let's see what you can do. And so that I would just go into channel and I would ask what they wanted me to do. And I was like, well, if that's what you want me to do, then I need this, 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 and this. And they were like, okay. And it was every time it was that
uh,
or more. And I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, and then I started seeing how things were growing. And so I said, well, what are you showing me here? And they're saying, yeah, this is what you're going to do for other people because we need to get into the frequency of these containers and bring these people to the top. And so that is what I've been trying to have happen. And now I'm just trying to find a way to make that happen. And I'm actually really lit up about us coming together and just saying, let's prove it together. Let's just
I,
prove it.
I love that. I just want to add real quick. When you just said the mission, at one point, Astral Luma said to me,
Leaving the
I was
earth.
I was asking about this and saying my stuck points or whatever, and they said I had to reconnect with the sweetness of the mission. So right after that, I went to Sedona with a group, and at there I met people. One, because the book that I did was with for the children and stuff, and the one woman who actually downloaded um this whole thing for like not conscious but higher dimensional conception and birth, and another woman that like the sweetness of the mission. And all the one woman said, I'm so glad to talk to you because I was saying it's like that it's coming together like this, not this linear way. And she goes, I'm so glad because people have been saying once I bought that through, people are saying, oh, did you open your clinic? And she's saying it's not a clinic. She said I can't even feel it yet. It's not, it's coming in. And so there was so much connection in the sweetness of the mission, and I feel that here with the wealth, because that's the sweetness of the mission, to offer these young people. I work with so many young adults that are so gifted, and they have to make a living in the old way and they can't. So I feel like that's the sweetness of this mission too.
Well, you're giving me full body chills. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Okay, let's see. Let's go with Larry.
Great. Well, this speaks to me because I've been in that world of corporate finance and investment banking and being a pivotal point in companies looking for financing and being the gatekeeper.
Mm,
And I know what that's like to be in a transactional world. and where there's no heart involved in the exchange of money. And it's all about the world of transactions and manipulation and control as part of that. What speaks to me is, and what I've been through on my own journey, is coming together in the spirit of oneness, coming
Yeah.
together in the spirit of community, and being able to tap into the potential of all of us, and being able to, I have an idea of what each person is bringing into this beautiful orchestra, this beautiful
Yeah.
tapestry, and having a sense of governance around what we're doing together as well as collectively.
Hmm.
And I think the challenge is being able to understand the mechanics of what Astral Luma is bringing in to help us navigate this.
Yeah.
What would be the difference between them and having a team of ascended masters, for example, that are doing the
Hmm.
same thing? It's
Hmm.
really about distilling down and already working. Like I'm already crossing over to working in 5D and being in that flow of life. But I don't have the instrument right now to really channel.
Mm.
And the idea of having, for example, $100 million oneness fund to fund new technologies and people that are heart-based is an idea that came to me years ago, being able to be a steward of distributing money for those that have been vetted, that are
Hmm.
already under the umbrella of working in a heart-based modality
Yeah.
and a sense of community and collaboration. So that's my point is stewardship, collaboration, a spirit of fun, a spirit
Mm.
of following our highest joy, and really coming together to create together.
I love it. Amen. I think that covered it. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, that was really good. Let's see. Let's go with Rochelle.
Hi. I think all of mine is going along, actually, just right along with everybody. I teach choir, theater, dance, high school students. And my daughter auditioned. She's in musical theater now. And after going through that process, I wanted to start a company that just helps all of these students and these families that are going through this intense audition process. But and I could just see it all. It's like there's no way they're going to know all of this information, and I know I can help them because I'm as a teacher, but then as a mom, as a and then performing myself, doing all that. But then it switched and went into, but really it's about teaching them self-love, and it went through this whole thing about that, especially in that industry, learning to have that self-worth and that self-love. And then they'll find the right fit, all of that. I think, but then it started. I wanted to do everything without charging anybody because it just felt like they're already going to be spending so much money on these auditions and all this. And then I forwarded to, well, will we still have colleges and do all that? So that's just kind of where I went into a little bit of a spiral of just like, well, maybe I'm just supposed to be quiet and just see what comes. And maybe it's through music and through something else,
Jamais.
teaching
Tu
young
m'entends?
adults
Tu penses qu'il y a des problèmes?
to do what they love to do, to find the things that bring them joy and bliss and being able to stay in that frequency, and not have to just do kind of what everybody else is talking about, like what Judy was saying, where they have to do some job. It's like, what do they love to do? What lights them up and help
Mhm.
do that. So
I love it. I might reach out to you because I am curious a little bit more about what you do because I may have a connection for you. So I want to learn more for sure.
okay. All right.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm starting to get a little bit of a theme here. Let's go with you, Diane.
Okay. The last couple of days, I've been thinking about business and everything I've gone through which is not great. And having my husband's not going to work right now, I've got to put myself out there. And it's like I don't want to do it that way. And today, which has never happened before, I have a group of women that come over and I do my tuning forks and all that. And I was leading them in creation, creating beyond what they create in their boxes. I had this really vivid dream this morning, and it took me deep into the actual cells of their body. I think I was inspired by your write up, the cells of the body and getting rid of the old patterns and bringing in the new. And I felt like I'm not quite ready. And they called and they were both sick. And I goes, great, which had never ever happened. They're like clockwork. They show up and they're loyal. And I will wake up in the morning and it's almost like I sit up and it says, you're not who you think you are. And then I had this strangest thing happened where the government tagged my account and I have to go again tomorrow, go in and take and show them my picture and my identity. So the first question they asked me was, there's more than one of you. And when I was born, my mother, they gave a black baby to her. And at first I went, did my mother ever tell me anything? And I went and had a bath. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh, my brother married Diane. So we both have the same name, Diane Shopton. And then all the anger came up because, my brother took my money and then I tried to feel it. And all I could feel was numbness. And then I'm in Sing the Body Electric. And at the same time came through was how to release the sacred rage. But what I'm doing is finding another way, but still held down from the old way, and definitely like a taking a tantra tantrum. I don't want to do it that way, but I don't know the way for a new way. And
Right.
finances, like bringing in the money, because somehow I'm not doing that. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like it's percolating, but it's not. And being tagged by the government couldn't be any clearer. You got to change your identity.
That's what I'm really feeling. Letting all of the past go and stepping into because that part can't go into the fifth dimension. I think that's just, we all could sit and like, what part am I still holding on to? Either a fear or a program or an identity that is maybe getting in the way of us really stepping into the next level of what it is to be a way shower or to move, whether it's a business or a part of your life or a relationship, whatever it is, into the higher dimensions. And, it's like when I say that, sometimes it can feel, oh, that's so woo woo, but I'm telling you, we're in the process of it right now, and it is happening. And the part of the mechanics of the way that the universe is being held together is shifting. And right now, especially this year, we have such a huge opportunity to take advantage of that. And that's why I'm like, okay, I can't keep putting this on the back burner. I got to bring this to the front because I don't want the year to get too far away from me. And then we miss out on the creation that's happening right here now because we have a lot of momentum that we can work with. All right, Diane, thank you. Let's see. Let's go with Stephen.
Hi, love. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I'm trying to let go of myself either. It's just all these excuses about needing to get a job to not want to contribute to the job system to begin with, and because that's pretty much all I've been seeing so far. Like I've been working with the modalities that I've been able to get, and but I've mostly been moving off of the disabled sort of associations that Starseed can come in when
Yeah.
learning all this stuff for the past decade. So
Yeah. And thank you for saying that because I do feel that what you're talking about and what Judy's talking about, I feel like there's a lot of an opportunity there too because let's just put it this way. Let's say Judy's business blows up. Well, who are the people she's going to be hiring to support her? It's going to be the light workers and the ones that are looking to work from a heart-based place, right? And so it all works together. That's how we're going to serve those that are ready to step into the dimension but are lost in how to make that happen. And then there's the ones of us that are ready to create a business there. And so it all is going to ripple down and support the creation of the fifth dimension. And I hear that in your words too, because I mean, I have daughters that are just, starting out in life, and it can be hard as a sensitive and not fitting into the framework of the third dimension to make it happen. So I hear you there. Do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just trying to be more positive and with the basic learning of that integration into society without having to tell people my past life and stuff, thrown
Right.
out the street again.
Well,
That's
you just show up because you radiate the light. So that's all you have to do is show up. I don't think there's a whole lot to say.
uh, okay, thank you.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that can pick up on that. All right.
Uh,
Well, I'm going to shift it back to gallery here if I can. Let's see. Um, I want to shift it back to gallery. All right. So I know there's a lot of comments. Are there any that I need oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm not going to be able to read all of them. So if there's some comments here that I should be aware of that add to the conversation, please let me know. Um, okay, so this is kind of I think my, where would we like to go from here? I can't say that I'm any more clear than when we started, but you know what I think it would be fun is what if we go into channel and ask Astral Luma? Yeah, let's go for it with Mindful Manny. I love, let's see. Do you want to share?
Yeah, thank you, Fleur, for answering my question. I was one of the space invaders in your chat, Jules. Because I have like no idea how I got in this Zoom. All I know is that I did have it in my calendar with time and date and reminders and everything. And then the link, I thought the link was broken, so I was like, "What? I probably shouldn't try." And so I tried, and here I am.
Oh
And
my God.
so Fleur is helping me solve the mystery. It's probably I must have clicked somewhere on one of your videos, but I do not recall you or um, your channel. And so what I would say, what I would ask the group or Jules is like, let's just pretend I landed on Earth and I have no clue how I got here. What's Jules and the collective manifesting so that I can like come into alignment? Because I've been
Yeah.
listening. I've been listening all this time, but I got all this static in my head. Like, why am I here? Why don't I hang up? La, 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 la.
Well, I
And so
am
Fleur,
so
Fleur
happy
threw me
that
a
you stayed
lifeline.
with
Thanks,
us.
Fleur, for throwing me a lifeline. And so I'm no longer floating in space. And this is a beautiful garden in Harmony. I'm in Harmony, Florida, so I'm close to Disney World. Like
Oh, fun.
as far away as from the materialism as you can imagine. And that's the moon over there. And now that we're oriented,
Well, I can say that I feel like there's no accident that you're here, of course, and I love that you've hung out this long having no idea why you're here. That is a true way shower. Right there is you're like, I'm here, I'm gonna stick with it, even though I have no idea why I'm here. And those are the people I really appreciate and want to have a part of this group are the ones that are kind of willing to go without all the answers. And it sounds like that's where you're at. And so who are we and what we're doing? So this class was it was supposed to be a workshop on 5D business. And I kind of got on and completely shifted it and wanted to just open it up to find out how we could create a mastermind with way showers to kind of prove what it is to create a business in the fifth dimension. And so I do channel the Astral Luma, is a frequency that is in the DNA. So everything is done on a biological level, and you can feel it when it's activated. And so what I was just suggesting is that possibly I go into channel and we ask Astral Luma how we can create something together and see what's possible. This is the words that keep coming to me is let's prove it. It's kind of like opposite of what I teach, right? Because I'm like, trust it and then wait for the proof to come later. And I feel like that what I would like to do with this right here is to do the opposite and to see if we can do it. It's like, let's prove that we can do this, and then we'll like kind of figure it out later. If that makes sense. Because I'm all about that. I'm all about rocking the boat. You guys know that. You know that about me. I'm all about let's just throw the pieces up and like let the universe totally guide us. So
Luma, you rocking the boat, Luma.
there it is. See, that's your confirmation. You're in the right place. What is your first name?
Manuel.
Say again.
My first name is Manuel.
Manuel.
Manuel. So
Okay.
that's Manny, Manuel, owner's manual, lab manual. A lot of
Yeah.
people pronounce it differently, but that's why I went with Manny. It's easier to remember.
All right, I'm going to stick with Manny. Well, I'm so happy you're here, and hopefully you won't be freaked out when I go into channel. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to open it back up to gallery. And let's see, who do we have on today? Who would like to dictate questions for Astraluma? Geo, is it Geo?
Mute. Oh, yep, let me unmute. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I just kind of wanted to say hi and introduce myself real quick. And yes, please channel. I'm
Okay.
excited to see your channel or whatever.
All
But
right.
yeah, so my angle is like I'm coming in from like a coach, like a teacher, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I'm thinking I'm still really just getting started trying to build a 5D business on my own or whatever. And I'm thinking about something like a school for the awakened,
Mm.
maybe, because there's so many people that are coming into this, like she was saying earlier, the young people. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, there's so many people that like, they need guidance. So
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you that the coaching, anything that has to do with teaching, how to let go of all of the attachments to whether it's the programming, it's learning how to relive. I mean, because we've been so programmed to experience the third dimensional reality, and that can't come with us to the fifth dimension. So there is a lot of trust, and that's why I so appreciate both you and Manny for just showing up and kind of being like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to be here anyways. And so what I would love to do is let's open it up to channel. And Rebecca, are you in a place where you could
Yes.
help? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay, yes.
Happily.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you be kind of the steward, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna go into channel. Um, uh,
Jules, do you want to wrap up at 6?
yeah,
Okay.
yes, at 6, because I have a session afterwards, and then we'll just kind of see what we have time for, but I'm going to do another one of these. So don't feel like this is the end because I'm going to go ahead and schedule another one. And I feel like the next one, now that we have an idea of what we're doing here, let's bring more ideas to the next one. And then we can have some questions on clarity of what's going to be created too. And then we can start to see what we can do here. I just have a really good feeling about it. It's still not in alignment completely, but I know we're going to be able to get there. Okay, let me go to speaker and take a sip of water. And I'm going to remove Manny. Okay. All right. So Rebecca, I'll let you take lead. We are ready. Are there some questions that we can answer?
Yes, Kate.
In the previous transmission, you talked about that first, our financial system would move from what it is now to something digital, and eventually it would move to no money. I was wondering if you could speak a little more about what that transition will look like, and if there's anything that we should be doing to help this along.
Yes. First, it's to recognize that money in itself is an illusion. You may have a dollar, but you also have a currency that is already digital. Does it make it more real to have it digital or to have the physical dollar? And this is proof that it is an illusion. The illusion is what will transcend. And it's in the transcension of the illusion that the transaction of monetary means will also change. This will change as people evolve. Will not happen overnight. And the time period, because time is too bending, collapsing in on itself. As the fifth dimension or the mechanics of this reality are rearranged, there is no one way of predicting time. But what we can say is that the evolution of the monetary system is rapidly accelerating. What you can do is simply allow yourself to be in witness, do not react, and stay in trust. Do what you're told to do. The listen and do was the way into the new earth creation.
Thank you.
Astral Luma, we have a question in the chat from Tina who asks how to shift my health into the fifth dimension. I believe I am here to teach others how to heal and live in the fifth dimension.
Yes. The first thing is to recognize how you are naming what is out of alignment or diseased. The naming or the witness of it is the entry point into ascending it. For instance, if there is diabetes, let's say, the diabetes in the body is a disease of 2 of 12 strands of DNA. When it's recognized within the third dimension, is an opportunity to bring it into multi-dimensions. How you do this is to recognize that you are only seeing part of the whole. It is allowing the body to move into a frequency of multidimensionality. This will begin to activate the higher operating system or the 12-strand DNA system. You do this with intention. Then you use consciousness, allowing the operating system to show you what is possible. So in this way of, let's say, the diabetes, for example, you will activate diabetes through 12-strand DNA system. And then you witness the shift. Information on how to ascend, the diabetes will come through. This is what it is to be a way shower. It is allow the third dimension to move into the higher dimensions, and you receive information on how it is done so that you can turn around and teach it to others. This will be done in many different ways. There's no one modality, it is many modalities. And you do have a modality that is within you that is awakening. There is a state where you will move into remembering. You will first learn to heal your own body. You will do this through a step by step as the modality shows you what is possible. Healing will shift. This will be a huge shift within third to fifth dimension, is how the body is not seen through just a 2-strand biology, but through 12. And there'll be those that will walk in leadership of healing the body through 12 strands versus 2. This is part of your mission if it is something that you choose.
Thank you, Astral Luma. Judy?
Hi, Astral Luma. Thanks. So since we've been on the call, many of us have spoke to our own businesses and coming together to support each other in this 5D wealth, for the currency to be in the hands of the light workers. And I've long time felt that. And then for that to be a frequency, the way showing frequency for the young people coming up, that they can, show up, listen, and do, and receive from that place, because that, and it's easy for myself to get into the, oh yeah, but it's been so long, I've tried so many things, and not go into the loop, and getting out of that loop, and then coming together with everyone here, accessing our aligned listen and do wisdom, and co-create this 5D wealth entrepreneurship and businesses, and really the collaborativeness of that and supporting each other. So if you could speak to that.
Yes. The collaboration is what we will work through first. We would like to do a transmission. This transmission will be for all that are ready to step into what it is to be in collaboration to create 5D business. This will not be done in a way that could be structured and understood in this moment. It is through the activation that we will bring consciousness into an understanding that the mind will not perceive, if we were to say, how it will be structured now. As we do this activation or transmission, we will work with consciousness to move it outside of the limitations of what the third dimension has been shown. Because when we move into the fifth dimension, collaboration will be experienced differently. There are many possibilities, but what we would like to do is create a transmission to bring these possibilities into a probability that will structure particles of reality to create a very specific pathway. It is within this pathway that the journey will be easy. There's no figuring out. It is simply showing up and doing what you are told. We will begin this transmission now. We first invite you to bring your attention into the center of the brain, your pineal gland. We will first activate a scalar wave, transmission 963 frequency. You'll begin to feel a wave moving through the physical brain in all directions. We will amplify, preparing the synapse responses, preparing consciousness. We will now release a gamma light wave. Gamma light shifting through brain. We will now connect into 12-strand DNA operating system. We will release the specific equation, the mechanics that will move through the neural pathways of mind. We will first adjust the mechanics of the mind allowing the limitation or programming to move into a wave state. Koshen takabra shatakumprushki askanpre shatakanto. Transmission into wave state, alteration of consciousness, allowing physical brain to move into higher operating system. Kese daran surokoshi ase kampra shatakanshi. Allowing wave state to reorganize, working on particle level of entire body. Shifting particles of body. Holding mechanics, evolution. Evolution through 12-strand DNA system, connecting to consciousness. Connecting wave state of reality, connecting particle shift, particle alignment, reorganization through alignment, stabilization. We will now activate the magnetic. You will feel a magnetic on top of the head and a magnetic below the feet. We will first bring into a repel position, allowing all particles to stabilize in frequency of fifth dimension. Activation of magnetics now. The magnetics through the repel will delete any density, programming, confusion. We will now flip magnetics, allowing magnetics to stabilize particles. As particles are stabilizing, we will work with the particles to create a dimensional shift. This dimensional shift will be felt on a cellular level. For just a moment, we will release gravity. Within the release of gravity, the structure of particles will move into the mechanics of fifth dimension. This will happen both on a conscious level and a biological level. We'll begin the transmission gravity shift now. Stabilization. We will end with a transmission connecting consciousness, evolution, 5D, business, connection, wormhole, connection, using the frequencies in this year of linear time. Acceleration, momentum. Transmission will be beyond our words, beginning now. We will continue this transmission for 14 days. It is within these 14 days that insight, downloads, or understanding. Each of you have a piece of the whole, focusing on the information that comes through the transmission. It will work with consciousness. It will just land. You will just know that it is part of the whole. When you receive the information, you simply write it down, and in collaboration, it will come together. Transmission is now complete.
Thank you, Astral Luma. I believe that's all we have time for. There was one other question in the chat, and we will hold that for the next session.
Okay, so that was exciting. What I would love is we have the forum in the 5D business. So add if you have an insight or download and want to go ahead and start putting it there, I will start to do that. And I'm going to announce the next date. I have a couple dates in my calendar and I'm not sure which one is right. So I don't want to say it because I'll probably say the wrong one. So I need to check with the team to find out when the next one is. So, but I do want to close it with this. This, of course, wasn't what I thought I was showing up for. I actually had all my notes here of going through my little workshop, and I just was like, you know what? I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I want this to be something that we create together. And it's every time I say that, I light up. I can feel the electricity in my body. So I know it's something that we can, for those of you that feel led and want to see where this goes, let's just do it. Let's see where it goes. So I will announce the next date. It's going to be obviously sometime in April. And but I want to take advantage of this year. I think you guys have heard me talk about all the energies and the information that's coming in. I will be announcing something pretty big on the 4/4 portal. So if you're not signed up for that, please sign up for it. It's like $11. It's totally worth it. And, but we'll use the energies that are coming through in the message that Astral Luma has for that. So if you're on the newsletter, be sure you read the blog. I believe it's on April 1st or the 4th because I kind of talk about it and then I'm going to go into major detail during the activation. So just give you a little heads up on that. Okay. Judy, did you want to finish with something? Oh, you just have your hands. Okay. Okay, well, you all, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm just sending my heart out to you. And yeah, well, I want to prove that our little way shower, our little white workers that have these big, huge hearts, that we can freaking kill it, you guys. Like I know that we can, and it's time. It's time to step up and show what's possible and put ourselves out there and lead the way. I mean, let's just say we're called way showers for a reason. Let's go show the way. Okay, I love you guys. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for those of you that this is your first time. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you'll come back. Okay. Bye-bye.